Good morning. We're going to be reading from chapter 3 today and sharing it together. Want to? This is Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 1. For behold, the Lord of hosts, doth take away from Jerusalem and from Judah the stay and the staff, the whole stay of bread, and the whole stay of water. My, that is some prophecy right there. The Lord of hosts. Often in different places, it's called the Lord of hosts, meaning he's the Lord of thousands and thousands and millions. And hosts can be angels, hosts can be people, every critter, everything. He's the Lord of everything. And he doth take away from Jerusalem and from Judah. They're going to not have any bread or any water. Oh no. The mighty man and the man of war. Now there was a comma after water, meaning that's not all that's going to be taken away. The whole stay of bread and the whole stay of water. The mighty man and the man of war. The judge and the prophet and the prudent, meaning somebody that really knows what to do in situations. And the ancient, old men, old women, the captain of 50, and the honorable man, and the counselor, and the cunning artificer, and the eloquent orator. So out of Judah and Jerusalem are coming all the ones that could help them, all the ones that could be wisdom to them, and understanding and knowledge and might. All of that's going to be taken away, it says. The mighty man, the strong people, strong men that can help them through hard times. The man of war, somebody that can help them to know how to fight the other nations that come against them. The judge, somebody that understands what's right and wrong. And the prophet, it's going to take away the prophet. People that can tell them what God says. The prudent and the ancient, the old ones that sometimes have wisdom that the young people can't. The captain of 50 and the honorable man and the counselor, somebody that can tell them what to do next. And the cunning artificer, somebody that can make things that need to be made and knows how to form things that they need to have. And the eloquent orator, somebody that can talk to the people and help them to understand what they need to understand. Those people, all of this, the Lord of hosts is going to take away from Jerusalem and Judah. Verse 4 says, and I will give children to be their princes, and babes shall rule over them. That would not be a good thing, would it? Would it be good for the children to rule over the grown-ups? Would it be good for babes to rule over us? And the people shall be oppressed, every one by another, and every one by his neighbor. The child shall behave himself proudly against the ancient, and the base against the honorable. So God was going to turn their society wrong side out, upside down. It was going to be a mess. People were going to be oppressing each other, causing each other to be angry and upset and know that things are not being done fairly. The child shall behave himself proudly against the ancient. Have you ever seen that? Have you ever been in Walmart or something and you see a child bossing the older people around? Makes you mad, doesn't it? Makes you want to say, you sit down, little kid. You need your behind spanked. Makes you want to say that. But that's what was going to happen in Judah and Jerusalem. The child shall behave himself proudly against the ancient, and the base against the honorable. People that have no morality, nothing good about them, are going to behave themselves proudly against those that are honorable, that know how to treat other people and do things right. The base are just going to run over them. When a man shall take hold of his brother of the house of his father, saying, Thou hast clothing, be thou our ruler, and let this ruin be under thy hand. Wow. Isaiah describes it, doesn't he? He describes what was going to happen. People were just going to try to get their kinfolk to help them out of the horrible situation that they were in. Not even that, not even help them out of it. Just let this be your blame. Let this be on you, this ruin. Let this ruin be under thy hand. You know, we've seen that in the past years. We've seen things that have ruined our country, haven't we? And it came under the hand of someone that was not with it. Didn't have the strong intellect that they used to have. That wasn't really with it anymore. We've seen that. And the ruin has been under their hand. And they weren't saying, you're going to make a good ruler. You're going to make somebody that can get us out of this mess. It was just saying, you've got clothing. You can look the part. You can look the part. Be thou our ruler, and let this ruin be under thy hand. It's not helping. It's just somebody to blame. Verse 7. In that day shall he swear, saying, I will not be an healer, for in my house is neither bread nor clothing. Make me not a ruler of the people. So he didn't want to do it. He'll just swear to you, saying, I'm not going to be a healer. I can't take care of this mess. I don't have bread or clothing. Don't make me a ruler of the people. So in that day, nobody's going to want to do it. It's going to be such a mess that there's no fixing it. That's what God is trying to tell. He's trying to tell that nobody wants to be in charge of such a mess. Verse 8, For Jerusalem is ruined and Judah is fallen, because their tongue and their doings are against the Lord, to provoke the eyes of his glory. Their tongue and their doings. They're talking against the Lord, and they're doing things against the Lord to provoke the eyes of his glory. Do you think it's better now? Do you think people are treating God better now? We see a lot of people praising God I see them on the Facebook and things like that. I see multitudes are in big stadiums praising God, running to the altars and things like that. But is it better? Is the world a better place for the Lord? No. It isn't a better place for the Lord. It isn't. Their doings, their tongues against the Lord many times, and their doings are against the Lord. You know, they'll take his name in vain. Anybody you see that gets into some kind of a big, say a wreck or a tornado comes or something like that, the first thing you hear come out of their mouth is OMG. Oh my God. And anything that happens, it don't have to be a tornado or anything like that, they'll still take his name in vain. They're not calling on him, they're just speaking his name because it's something that just comes to their mouth. And they'll curse, call themselves Christians, call themselves serving the Lord, and they'll use their tongue against him and against righteousness and righteous talking. And their doings are against the Lord. They don't want anybody to tell them what the Bible says, what God expects. Because their tongue and their doings are against the Lord, to provoke the eyes of his glory. Now, I've never heard that phrase before, and I don't ever remember reading it before. I've read through Isaiah many times, but I've never seen this, to provoke the eyes of his glory. When God looks at all of humanity, instead of seeing something that makes him happy, that makes his eyes light up and his glory shine, he sees something that makes his eyes flash, probably a lot of times with anger. And perhaps that's what this means, to provoke the eyes of his glory. There could be glory coming down on mankind, but instead the eyes of his glory are being provoked. Verse 9 says, "The show of their countenance doth witness against them, and they declare their sin as Sodom, they hide it not. Woe unto their soul, for they have rewarded evil unto themselves." Now, I'm trying to go back to the sins of Judah and Jerusalem. Yes, even when Solomon was the mighty king, he built temples for the false gods. So it just had gotten worse and worse. And in Isaiah's day, finally, let's see who all the kings were. There was Uzziah. He was a good king, but at the end, he got leprosy from going into the temple when he wasn't supposed to go. Jotham, his son, was good. Ahaz was not. Ahaz tore down things and made altars like they'd had over there in the Assyrian countries. But then here comes Hezekiah. And Hezekiah was a good king. And Hezekiah, let's see when he reigned. Let me go back to in Kings. And let's go back to the time of Hezekiah. And let's see when his reign was. All right. We're going to find it. Manasseh. Here's Hezekiah in 7:10 and 7:13. And this was written in 760. Let's see when Hezekiah's reign ended. Hezekiah was a good king. And let's see. Well, that was I remember now that it goes backwards. So Hezekiah slept with his fathers in 713. So this was in 760. Probably it was before Hezekiah, was probably in the reign of Ahaz. Probably. Or before that. 760. So it was before Hezekiah came and helped the nation do better. So it was probably during the time of Ahaz, and Ahaz was causing them to do all kinds of bad stuff. So this is Isaiah prophesying against them. Let me see if I can see the time of, I'll go back to Kings again, and because it tells about all the kings. Let's look at the time, what it says when Ahaz ruled. Ahaz. Let's see. And let's see. That's way back. All right, Ahaz. In the 12 years of Ahaz, let's see, that was 721, 740. No, 17. 721. Let's see. Ahaz was ruling in 740. So he didn't rule yet, but there was Jotham and Uzziah ahead of him. And before Uzziah was, let's see when Uzziah was reigning. 772. Uzziah, yes, Jotham. They were like up in 772. So it was in between. He was prophesying this in between Uzziah, Jotham, and then Ahaz. So it was not a good time, not a good time in Judah and Jerusalem. And he said, the show of their countenance doth witness against them. Telling you, people say it doesn't matter what you look like on the outside. God looks on the heart. Well, if I dye my hair green and blue and orange, and I put a ring in my nose and piercings all over me and tattoos all over me, does the show of my countenance witness against me as far as following after the Lord? Yes, it does. There's things that you can do that the show of your countenance will witness either for you or against you as far as following the Lord is concerned. There is. So you can change things. If you've got tattoos everywhere, you can put on clothes. You can cover yourself. And I'm not saying you can get rid of them. I think there's a way of doing it. But tattoos are not something that are thought of or even considered as godliness. It's been a popular thing for people to do, and people have them and they don't know how to get rid of them or can't afford to get rid of them. But the fact is, your countenance doth make a witness against you or for you. I'm going to stop there because I'm getting over time. We're going to start back on chapter 3, verse 9 tomorrow. And just realize that God will help your countenance. He'll help the way you look in your face. He'll give you a shine to your face. And he will help you to appear to others as belonging to him. He teaches us that. Okay, I'll start back tomorrow. God bless you.